Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. One more and we'll get everybody. All right, good morning, everyone. You can all find a place to settle down somewhere. We get started. Welcome back. For all of you that were gone for the summer, for all of you that are here throughout the summer on and off, thank you for all your hard work. I'd like to welcome the people that couldn't get any better seats from StubHub than up there, so thank you for being here. Trying something new and different this year, so I hope you enjoy it. I know we've got a busy day for everybody, so I just want to get right into it. So welcome. Thank you for being here. I want you to know, first of all, how much we appreciate all the work that you do. You had an amazing year last year. And I want to start this today by just showing you some of the things you together as a group did. This is faculty and staff and administrators. You did some amazing things, and I just want to highlight this with you. First of all, the strategic plan. Everything's tied to that. Just real quick, I'm not going to go on and bore you with this. 3 basic pieces. Student success. So we want to increase our student success. It's pretty obvious. That's all the stuff we do. It's all tied around our students. It's retention, it's our classes, it's our support systems. Everything's tied around that. The second is we wanted to foster more meaningful relationships externally. We wanted to reach back out to the legislators, get back to know our community, and know us better. We have this amazing story. We know inside these walls how great we are, but sometimes in the community, over 800,000 people, not everybody knows that. So a lot of that was outreach. And that included everybody and everything. And workforce development, all sorts of things. And then ensure a sustainable organization. Really what we mean by that isn't necessarily just all green initiatives. It means that we have to do decisions that help the college move forward on a long-term basis. So it's not always just the budget, but it's making sure the buildings are fixed and everything's running on time. And that whatever happens, there isn't something that's going to happen in 3 years that's just a catastrophe. We're thinking kind of long-term. So here's how we tied some of this stuff last year to this. So here's some of the things that we did last year for Champion Student Success. We had the highest student population ever for graduation. That was an amazing ceremony that all of you were in. Outside of today, it's the best day on the campus. 700 students and faculty all wore diversity cords, so we did a lot of things there. The police academy graduated 32 new cadets, 68 total, and the POWERS program continues to chug along. Those are great things for our students. Programs of study. The faculty, I've said this before, did an amazing job revising our core curriculum. That was not easy. That was a huge, huge heavy lift. And the work that was done collaboratively is outstanding. And you should all be proud of the hard work. This is going to be the core of a lot of things we do, no pun intended. The annual program review really started talking about cross-divisional work. And that's really critical for things that we're going to be doing ahead. When we talk about class schedules and things that are happening, it's not just internal in one area. The market study of West Campus and the program app, we did a huge study of West Campus. I'm going to show you some of that later. Of things we can do to start improving the West Campus, the enrollment, make it a better place for all the students over in that area. We also revised the curriculum over at the Culinary Institute. And you're going to hear more about that in a little bit too. That was a heavy lift too. Accreditations. Several accreditations. Physical therapist assistant program was granted candidacy. The early years, education in early years was renewed accreditation. Human services program earned accreditation review. That is fantastic for all those, and the hard work, it's not easy for those things to happen. And that was great on the part of our faculty and all the work that they did, so those accreditation pieces continue to come through. We had 3 major grand openings: the Health Sciences Center, the Fitness Center, and the Sound Recording and Music Technology Center. By the way, the sound recording studio program, sound recording technology program, is growing rapidly. Now there's a question of how much space are we going to have for those classes for students to get into that. That's a good thing. Resources, faculty case managers graduated students who earned 60 credits or more as part of a completion initiative. That's an amazing thing to do. And I want to just touch on that because we're going to have a little minor goal with that later. What that really means is the hard work our faculty did for those students that have that bump of classes between, let's say, 45 and 60 hours. A lot of those students never graduate. And we always think that they just leave and go off to a 4-year school, and that's not necessarily the case. At one of my prior institutions, we did the same thing. And what happened with that was we found students that already had all the credit hours they need sometimes. We had students that had already completed their degree. We had students that were taking the wrong classes because they just didn't want to go back and see advisors. They'd been there for a couple of years. They really had what they needed. So this kind of work is really critical to those students. The OER, the Affordable Alternatives Awards for faculty. We began a year-long trial of 24/7 online tutoring. I want to make sure that everyone understands that this 24/7 online tutoring is supplemental. It's an additional piece of the tutoring that we already have. It means that we have an opportunity for students to actually go to a tutor if they need to, or get a tutoring assistant, say, late in the evening, or on the weekends, or times we may not have tutoring running. So it's not replacing anything, it's really adding and augmenting what we already have, and it should really work well hand in hand. We started with a trial for STEM students, and we're going to talk about that in just a little bit. And we selected ecampus.com as our bookstore. And if you notice, the way back in that corner over there, there is where students are picking up their books. I'll give you a little first-hand knowledge of how it works. My son just taking his second year classes here, ordered his books the other day. I'll let you know if they show up on time and how that all works. But so far, the very minimal complaints and concerns. We'll probably find a glitch or two, but it's really a good thing for our students. Program achievements. The public health program received a Enrollment Award for Excellence in Public Health Education. The Gateway to College program was part of a bellwether. Bellwether is a very difficult award to even be nominated for. We were one of only 30 institutions in the entire country that was nominated for award last year, and it was for that program. And that is something that's really been an amazing thing for our college. Art and Literacy Magazine actually won first prize in the American Scholastic Press Association. The college is also named as a recognized chapter of Nu Alpha Theta, the National Mathematics Honor Society, so that is fantastic. All of those are tied to our students and their success. Student support, it's not just in the classroom, it's the support we did. So we launched Montgomery Wild Weeks of Welcome. I launched the Unity series to celebrate our unity and diversity. Even our athletics area, which sometimes seems to go ignored by some things. We had Coach of the Year awards. Volleyball team won the conference championships. We had 9 athletes make all conference team. Great stuff for the college and our students. We changed our advertising, our advising. We were recognized nationally for our advising approach. And what we're doing, we went to EDUCAUSE, Achieving the Dream, ACRO, which is College Registrars and Admissions Officers, the League for Innovation, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. We're part of all of those. So when we talk about how great we are, we're just not talking about it internally and telling ourselves we're great. We are great because we're actually still in many, many cases, even more so, being recognized nationally for the work that we do. And advising is part of that. We were reconfirmed as a leader, Achieving the Dream Leader College, and we're only one of 6 colleges in the country that were part of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation Development for English and Advising case study series. That's amazing. Engaging the community, 22% more applications than the year before. So we're turning that tide. You're going to see some of those numbers. The first part was to get more students to apply. Open houses. We changed the whole format for open houses. And these are larger numbers than in the last 5 semesters of doing them. So you take one semester to fall, one semester to spring. For 5 semesters, we had the largest number for each one of those that we've had in all that time. So in a couple of years, we're turning that corner. Virtual admissions events, including virtual admissions presentations and virtual high school day. So that was some of the things that you did for that. How about external events? Workforce development, we've put a focus on that. Again, these are areas that are not really covered traditionally by our regular programs that we have all the time here. These are opportunities for gap areas that are out in our county. Again, you have 800,000 people, not every one of them are going to go into a degree program. A lot of them need assistance in other ways. So we actually really started putting some effort in that. Dave DiMatteo and his group are really doing some great work at that. So we did 21 contracts for training. We had about 85 people attend our open house. We had 75 graduating high school students pursue the Career Education Exploration Day. Pottstown campus had 35 companies at its career fair. That's fantastic for the Pottstown area. And we hosted a career fair in late May. In addition, partnerships and agreements. Part of the outreach is not just legislative people, but it's also our connections with the high schools and the four-year schools. And sometimes people forget that we're constantly updating all of our transfer agreements. We have probably 60 or so transfer guides and program guides that we work with multiple institutions. And those are always updated and changed. We have the opportunity, if a student comes in with one that we don't have, to actually add that. So we have 14 new and 5 revised program-to-program transfer agreements. We have 4 new student occupational things for our SOAR program. We added 2 university-centered partners, Alvernia University and University of the Sciences, who were thrilled to start working with our students, our faculty, and staff. And we also partnered with the Sheriff's Office and also the Rotary Bluebell to do golf outings to help put money into scholarships. Sheriff's Office is for students in that area. and our Bluebell Rotary Group is going to be donating all the funds from a golf outing this September 10th to our Veterans Center. Government relations. Mike Bettinger and I, we visited over 40 different legislators last year. We made a point of going to see everybody. Now that doesn't sound like, well, who cares? Well, a lot of those people are making decisions on our future. A lot of those people are determining our funding for our future. By the way, a lot of that started to pay off. A lot of the work that we did, we were granted this year, it was a surprise. We worked really hard on this, all the community colleges together. But the governor put into this year's budget a 3% raise for all of our funding for each of our community colleges. So we actually have more funding coming from the state for the first time in several years this year. So a lot of that does mean when we go out and do all that. And if we're not there, they look at us and look, if it's not important, come visit us. Why are we doing this? So we have Lobby Day. We have a legislative shadowing program that's always outstanding. On-campus events. Many of you will come to the Wood Paint Festival here, and it's tied right in with us. So we get an opportunity for all these students and parents to come on our campus and see what we do day to day. It's great for them to come tour. And we actually have now heard from people that said that they came to that, and that was the first time they came here, and they decided they loved the campus and they wanted to come back and explore coming to college here. Presidential Symposium, we had one with Derek Pitts, his diversity in the universe, that was fantastic. We had John O'Brien, the head of EDUCAUSE, the CEO, come here and speak to everybody. And we had, this is amazing, for our lively arts people, you should take a bow. We had over 10,500 community members come see your events last year. That is great. So over the summer, we just don't do anything here. we actually do a lot. And this year we put an initiative together to really make sure that we found a way to do some outreach to students, younger students. Again, trying to get people on the campus for multiple reasons. So if you walked around here over the summer, we had, at CAI, we had little mini camps. And I went out there one day on a Friday to receive a scholarship donation from a set of parents whose student was one of our graduates and was unfortunately killed in a car accident a couple of years ago to start a scholarship for the culinary students. And it was the same day, though, that we had a camp going. And there are tons, 25 or 30 kids just running around making cookies and doing all these things. And to the parents, that meant an awful lot to see that that was sort of like the next generation of people coming through there. So it meant an awful lot. We did athletics camps, including the 76ers, with more than 800 people here. That's a lot. You saw lots of kids running around this campus. Arts camps, STEM camps, so we really wanted to make sure that we had that going. Sustainable organization. Really what we have, and I want to make sure I take a second to do this right, we have 7 full-time faculty members that earn their doctoral degrees. That's a long haul to get that, so congratulations to all of you. Dr. Amanda Gatchett received the B. Aubrey Fisher Award from the Western States Communication Association. Dr. Garvey, I know it's going to mess that up. Well, I practiced it too. Musumuno, Assistant Professor of Sociology, serves as a Fulbright Scholar in Cameroon. I apologize, I practiced that so hard too. Faculty members Fran Lassiter and Wayne Brew also conducted research on sabbatical while they were during the 17-18 thing, and that's fantastic. So philanthropy and scholarships, we don't just wait. Again, part of sustainability is the ability for our students to continue onward and move forward. It's us as well. So we had charitable foundation things happening. Fast Track to Employment, Quest for the Best donated $50,000 for the Police Academy scholarships. And when people ask, how much do we give out in money for students? There's the answer. Last year, 329 scholarships for $530,000, and that came predominantly from our foundation. And Joe Gallagher from our foundation is sitting over here, the head of our foundation. And while I'm at it, since I totally missed up, and I'd also want to make sure I mention Frank Custer, one of our board members. Our students last year received a total of $30.6 million in financial assistance. Yes, some of that is wrong. Some of that are other things. But you know what? A lot of it's Pell Grants. A lot of it is grants, but the amount of debt that our students come out with is much, much, much less and much more manageable than the students that are out there. And One of our long-term goals should be to try to eliminate any kind of debt for those types of students. We should really be looking, if we want to have a vision for down the road, 5 or 6 or 7 years, how about we try to find a way so that our students don't go into any debt at all when they walk out the doors? That would be something really large for us to try. We received the Greater Valley Forge Diamond Award. So again, we are doing sustainability pieces. And by the way, we'll be going at the end of this month to pick up again. This is, I don't know how many years in a row, and this is the hardest award for us to receive in this area. Employee development. We were selected by Civitas Learning, one of just a small handful of schools. Again, talking about us being nationally recognized, they came to us and asked if we could join them as one of just a couple of community colleges. And we had 35 of our faculty and staff go through this entire program to become a little bit better at what they do. And it was great because not only was it as an emerging leader kind of feel to it, but it also was great for them to work together, faculty and staff across that sort of aisle, if you will, to work on problems that were out there. So it was a great thing for us. We were also awarded the most promising place to work by NISOD and Diverse Issues for Higher Education for the 3rd consecutive year. So we are a great place to be. This is all right, either I have to be more dramatic when I say those things so you know it's a cue to applaud or not. See, I was really worried when I got here that all of you put those sunglasses on, I'd be looking at all these sunglasses out here. And there, like, I've been watching, he's just sitting in the sun, the poor guy is over here. This is, if you can see from all the accomplishments of last year, those were just some of the highlights. We did a lot more than that. What we can do when we work together, what we can do when we create momentum. If you look around this room, you see the phrase momentum a lot. This is really what we're talking about with students, but this really applies to us as a group as well. We have to continue to build momentum for our students, for our staff, for our faculty, for working together as a group. We can do a lot more than what we do if we just continue to put our minds together. Look at the different areas. These represent really all of the different areas at our campus in a large scale. And you can see that we've already started to see the impact of what happens. And it is my hope that we can continue this. So, as we go forward, questions you always ask. By the way, I'm not going to talk about budget really at all, so aren't you thrilled about that? But we are turning the tide on our enrollment. This is important for us. Summer, our new students were up 2.7%. By the way, these have always been consistent declines. New students have been declining, student credit hours have been declining, total head counts have been declining, and not just the last 2 years or so. This has been like a 6-year trend, constantly going down for that many years. It's not something, it's like an airplane. We can't pull it straight up at one time, but we are doing this turn now. This is a lot of the hard work that you're doing. And we're seeing results that we started putting in even 2 years ago. The credit hour declines, now, that doesn't sound like a great deal. Well, we built the budget on the model that we've used the last several years. It's a computer-generated budget model to determine where we think we're going to fall. And we were projecting about a 7.3% decline in enrollment every semester, roughly across the year. So we came in summer at 2.2% down as opposed to 7%. That's a win for us. We're seeing that turn in our enrollment now. Fall, now this would have been as of the 27th. So again, it's going to change day to day. We enroll about 45% of our students in the last couple weeks before and after classes start. So when everyone says, well, how are we doing? Well, it depends on what minute it is at the time, because it really changes that rapidly. And again, we have course changes and things. But our applications for fall are up 6% over the prior year. Our new students are up nearly 6%. So when you see students, you can see a lot of new students here again. Credit hour declines, down about 4% compared to the 7.3%. But again, even that is better than what we have. These will also impact our budget. This will mean you'll see more people in the classroom again. We're starting to make that turn. The head count is down less than 2.5%. Now this was yesterday, so it could change today. It could change tomorrow. We also have, remember, 10-week enrollment sessions and several 7-week semester sessions as well. So we'll see that. The news is that we are turning that corner, and we should all take pride in that, because again, this is all of us working together, and this is a mix of all the things we're doing. So the year ahead, what are we going to do the year ahead? This is going to be an ambitious year for the second year of what our strategic plan is. I want to start with just a quick little high-level view of all the different divisional areas so you kind of see what you're doing. This is not all the detailed stuff. This is just really so everybody gets a feel for what everybody's going to be doing. So academics, really the implemented the guided pathways. You spent all that time putting together the core curriculum. The guided pathways are going to be critical for all of our students. So many things are going to play off that. So we got to clarify all the pathways and get them on the path, stay on the path, don't fall off the path. Why is that important? It's important because we have so many students that when they come in, they don't know what they want to do, and they'll fall off if they take one class and it doesn't work, and we don't have the ability for us to immediately know how do you get in and how do you get out. I'll give you a great example. Now, this doesn't mean we're going to do this everywhere, but for culinary, the Culinary Institute really has it very simple for students coming in. Are you a part-time student? You are? Here's your schedule. You're a full-time student? Yeah, you are? Here's your schedule. And we'll work with you on that. Now, there may be variations, but we're going to really be able to work with those students at the Culinary Institute. It's a smaller model, but it's a great way for us. We want to make sure that if students leave, there's a really viable reason if they step out the door. So that means a lot more proactivity. That means a lot more early awareness. It means a lot more with our tutoring. It means a lot more with our connections. And it means everything from even all of our maintenance guys and all our security people that walk around the campus every day and they see a student with their head down talking to that student and say hi. Find out what's going on. I can give you honest examples of students last year, that first day of classes, particularly tomorrow. You'll see students walking around and we will literally have students walk out the door because they don't know where they're going. Celeste helped one a year ago. The student had accidentally taken a class that was on the West Campus. One here, one there, like 20 minutes apart. Was going to drop, not just drop the class, drop out. And she went, had it all taken care of and straightened out, and that student stayed. It's just little things like that make a big difference. Student services, of course, we've got to align all the support that we're doing with all the guided pathways, and we've got to continue to stabilize that enrollment, look at our new student figures, and continue the process to support the student services areas. Phil's going to talk with your area, with his area pretty soon, and talk about some new exciting things that we're going to try, and a lot of collaborative work with our faculty as well. The West Campus. West Campus, we spent a lot of this summer working with a lot of the West Campus area and a lot of people in that community. There was a small, tiny rumor that we were closing the West Campus, and it just seemed to grow. We've never even talked about that before. There's absolutely no truth to that at all. None. Zero. We've never even talked about it. In fact, we're putting money into the West Campus. We moved our workforce development area to the West Campus. So we spent time with community leaders. I met with the superintendent of the Pottstown Schools multiple times. I spoke at their board meeting just a week ago with Dave DiMatteo. We have some exciting new things we're going to be doing. So we also increased our communications over there and our advertising. You'll see a little bit of that. We're doing something a little bit different. Dave DiMatteo's title includes the title West Campus on it. He's really our face of our West Campus out into the community. But internally, Kelly Trahan is now going to be the Interim Assistant Dean of Academic Affairs there, and Amy Atwater is going to be our Assistant Dean of Student Services over there. Those are going to be the two people really running that campus. So when we get going and up and running, we met yesterday with Vicki and Phil and myself and the two of them, and we talked about the communications and what we're going to do there, and we're going to tackle those projects head on. So you're going to see a lot of positive things going on at campus, and really it's a challenge of the West Campus now to start moving forward together as a group because every opportunity will be there. We're going to do a lot of great stuff on the West Campus. Workforce development, we started with a great year. We came out positive in cash, and that sounds like a silly thing. But when you sometimes do training, if you lose money, that doesn't make any sense. So we got to come out a little bit ahead. So it was a positive year. We want to continue to partner with the county. We want to expand some certificates. We're still in that phase of learning what our needs are for the area, and continue to increase our revenue and contacts. Information technology, Celeste's area. Supporting the guided pathways is going to be a critical part this year of what we're doing. The technology, the data, the research. David Kowalski is just fantastic when he pulls data up. We want to be data informed, not data driven. Data shouldn't drive your decision, but you should be informed of what the actual possibilities are and what it means. We're going to do some innovative solutions to our student success issues with some real data this year that we're going to be able to put out in front of everybody. Institutional advancement. Arlene Stephan retired this year, and so we have a temporary vice president that's in there. Marion Tranco, Molly, if you see her, I don't know if I've seen her in here yet today. She's working with me as we restock that area, put people back in place, and really lay out what we want to do for the next year. Joe was in yesterday. We talked about what we're doing. We have a meeting with other board members from his group and our board of trustees coming up, and we're really having some big plans for that. So we're rebuilding that entire foundation team with large plans. And one of that will be upcoming January 1st, a $2 million capital campaign that will be 18 months long. We've never done $2 million. It's very aggressive, it's very much upfront, and that's going to be a big challenge for us. We have 18 months and we're going to have everybody in place for it, but starting January, that'll be our goal. And we'll break it down to you as we start setting things up, where we're doing, what we're trying to do, and what we hope to do with the money if we can raise that. Government relations, again, Mike and I working together on a lot of this, continue just to strengthen all those relationships out there, expand some of the things for our opportunities for our students, and really start talking about our advocacy for our policies and things on this area. Too much has been dictated by a couple of community colleges, and particularly by the four-year schools. The four-year schools like to tell our story for us. And that's not. If we don't tell our story, someone else is going to tell it for us, and we have to do a better job at that. That's what we're working on. Finance and administration, we really have to lay out a multi-year plan for our finance area. We can't take it year to year. We really need to say this is what we're going to be doing over the course of several years, and a lot of this has been stabilizing what we've been doing. With the decline in enrollment, the uncertainty of the millage that was coming in, the uncertainty of funding from the state, was it going to go up, was it going to go down? We think we can start to stabilize all those pieces. Now we can really start our planning a lot better. We're going to continue to upgrade the safety elements on the campus as well, and talk about our financial processes. I'm sure you're all going to be thrilled hearing about that from Charlie. Human resources, we want to talk about succession planning and how do we have people from our own areas move up. This is also part of our accreditation. We were asked to do that for accreditation. We had kind of set that aside, so we'll move forward on that. Continue to strengthen our transparency, our equity, and our inclusivity in our hiring practices. And really talk about position control. Diane went, I know when you say that, everyone's head's going to go like this. So, facilities. There's a couple of nice things. The Science Center renovation has begun over the summer. We ran into a little bit of a glitch just over this last week, some water issues down in some of the area. We are working on that right now. If you go through the human resources area, you'll find that they had a small flood that came through there. It was actually water that was kind of coming up as opposed to coming down from rain. So we have that. But we also found out that we were going to receive funding over the next year to renovate our theater. So yes, so that is a great thing from the state. We'll be connecting, we're the core connector on the Whitpain Trail, so that's going to come through our property. So we'll be part of a larger scale walking trail. We were like the middle glitch that you couldn't walk so far because we were like in the middle. And we're going to be working also on the West Campus with a lot of renovations, particularly in South Hall classrooms, also here on the Fine Arts Center, the College Hall, etc. So here's the challenge for us short term. The board challenged us this year to come up with 4 or 5 short-term student success goals. That's not really heard of around community colleges or out nationally. And the reason is 2 things. One, it's hard to measure because nobody else is doing something like that, so you don't have anything to measure it against. Second, it's a very short window of opportunity to make a difference. Very short. Think about these. All these goals that I'm going to show you have to be done between now and the end of June. There's 5 of them. These are goals for all of us. We can do this and make a difference. These are not outside of our reach, but they are going to be a reach. The first one is this. We're going to try to increase our new student enrollment by 5% over the fall, the summer, the spring. Now you saw that we were already ahead on some of those. We still have to pull up more students, the new students for this semester, and we have to do the same thing in January to reach this goal. But it was set out there for us because this is our time to try to turn this around. So this is marketing's area, this is student services area, this is you talking to people out in the community to continue to talk about coming back in January and applying for the first time. The second one is really across the whole campus again. This is reducing the percentage of our withdrawals. Now this is withdrawals in a class, not like student withdrawals like a whole student. So we have to have 500 less of those. Really what this means is it doesn't mean for us to go out and talk students into staying that really are not going to pass that class. But what it does mean is for us to be proactive when we find out students are in our classroom, to make sure that early awareness is happening. It means connecting students with tutoring earlier. It means connecting students with advising earlier. It means being flexible if we have students come to us with issues. Again, my background, student services, we had a student that missed really just the first 2 days of classes. It was a family injury, and they couldn't come and was going to drop several classes. Our advice was really just go talk to your faculty members. Find out, and all the faculty members really just said, listen, I'll work with you. This is going to be a heavy lift, but you could do this if you really want to. And that student stayed. A lot of it is just outreach from faculty and staff and students. So that is going to be difficult, but that's one. And that's a course over 2 semesters, fall and spring combined. Our third one is to double the percentage of STEM students that are going to go into our 24/7 online. Now the reason we said STEM students is we piloted that last year. So we want to take that pilot and do sort of a second phase of that pilot and get more students into that. But we want to use other students into those tutoring pieces. Again, this is not taking over tutoring from another area. This is working hand in hand. So our students will have that opportunity to pick up assistance even if all they do is go in there and find out some areas that they really aren't sure about, and it gives them that break. So when they come into a tutor, they really have a better idea what's happening. It also provides feedback for faculty of what questions are being asked and what areas are being studied. So it's a great tool for that as well. So we're going to encourage all of you to help us try to get more students into that, because it's going to be the best thing for our students. Fourth one is increasing the part-time fall to spring retention by 5%. That's 50 students. Now we picked full-time, part-time. Right now, I'm not sure if you know, but 70% of our students are part-time. 70%. Used to be 50-50, full and part. 70%. Now that's about average right now for the state of Pennsylvania as well. It's kind of odd, or even pushing nationally. So what this means is for us to really make sure that we're talking to all of the students and asking them, are you coming back next semester? Are you being here next semester? What can we do? This is not just a goal. Again, I want you to understand all these are goals not for our benefit. These are all goals that are going to benefit our students. If a student drops out, even a part-time student, the odds of them coming back are only 50%. So even if they take a semester off, the idea is that momentum piece. Keep them going. Come back and take another class. What can we do? Is it because of, find out why they're not coming back. Can we get 50 more students to come back? We can if we work together. And the final one is increase the graduation rate of the students with 45 credit hours. That's 60 more students. And what we mean by that is this. So when this semester gets started, we'll pull up a roster of how many students have 45 credit hours or more, including what they're enrolled in. And then we'll see how many of those can we push across that finish line either this semester or next semester. Now you already saw that we had a faculty initiative that started with this. We can do this. Again, the problem is if we don't really work with those students and really do something with each one of those people, a lot of them will stop. And they're not stopping because they're going to go to a four-year school. Some of them will. When we did this at one of my prior institutions, we found students that had already graduated. And they just never, we had 4 of them that literally had done everything but signed the thing saying, I want to graduate. Isn't that funny that we always have that requirement that they have to do that? They're done. We're going to make you jump through one more hoop. So we sent them their degree. You finished. Here you go. We will work on this though, but this is, again, this is something that we'll break down data by programs. Some programs have a little more difficulty than others. There's a lot of reasoning behind that sometimes. But together, we can do these. We will celebrate each one of these goals if we can make it. Each one of these is a success for our students if we can do this. So we will keep you informed on the numbers. We'll keep you informed on how we stand. We'll let you know at the end of the semester how we are. In January, we'll let you know how we do at the beginning. And we'll find a way as a group, all of us like this, to celebrate every time we can successfully complete one of these goals. These are hard. And we can't do it. It's not a student services goal. It's not a faculty goal. It's together. So it was a great year. We want to make sure that people outside of the walls of this campus know what we're doing outside. So this is the last little part of this. And here's what we're going to do. Just a little idea. We really put a strong effort into our marketing. We had a great year. We wanted to tell our stories. We had to increase awareness of the college. We refreshed our logo. That was designed by one of our faculty members, by the way. New websites, launched different areas that are out there. We're out in all sorts of things. And really, radio ads. Have anybody heard the radio ads yet? Some of you? Yeah? We're out there now. So we're going to be doing this. So what I want to do as I close today, believe it or not, I am. One of the things I want to do is at the very end when I'm all finished, I'm going to hop down over here and I'm going to sit and talk with anybody who wants to come over. I'm going to stand. Well, if you have questions, you have things you want to talk to me about, you have concerns, I'm here. So I'll be right here. So what I'd like to do though is I want to show you after the after the 1st of September, when Labor Day comes, we're going to have our first TV ad. And you're going to see it first. So this is the TV ad for us.
Your potential is waiting. Your future is standing by. Your momentum is ready to be set in motion. All you have to do is take the first step. 3 locations, a virtual campus, dedicated faculty, and 50 areas of study. Montgomery County Community College. Apply today and make your own momentum.
So, it's great having you all back. We are an amazing team. We work together so well. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you around all the campuses. Tomorrow is a fantastic day. Here's to a great 18-19. I'll see you all around over here in chat. Take care.
I was going to say, I'll bust you for a chair now.